based in Bay City, Michigan. The second I found out about any kind of plays, any kind of theatrical, I was in grade school, I think, and we did plays out of our textbooks. And anytime we read a play or a story in a textbook, from that point on, I was trying to get a production done. Then I got to middle school and I started doing plays in middle school, and they would do productions as well. And then I went to the Bay City Players, and they had a youth program, and I just grew and met everyone I could and tried to be a part of anything in the theater I could. And then I heard about other places like Pit and Balcony in Saginaw and Midland Center for the Arts in Midland. And from that moment on, anytime there was an audition, I was there. If I could get a ride, I was there. And I just had to be it. It was the only place that nobody told me to sit down and shut up. Louder, funnier, that was encouraged. And so when the first director told me to be louder, I was like, I'm home. This is what I have to do. Just meeting a lot of people, not necessarily always getting the roles you wanted. And me, as a young kid, I always wanted the lead. I want to be the star. But not always getting the lead and not always being the star, I think helped prepare me more. Because I would get the character roles, the funny roles, and that's how I realized that's the better role. Why am I trying to be the hero? The hero doesn't tell jokes. I want to be the funny one next to him. So all those little roles that I played when I wasn't necessarily getting the role I wanted were preparing me for what I'm doing today. My brother saw the show, and he was like, everything you've done was building up to this. He was like, I feel like every show I've seen you do was a little bit, and a little bit, and now you just got to show me everything. So as I'm doing the Genie and dipping into those different personalities and characters, it 100% takes me back to, oh, this is this role, and this is what you did here, and it's so wonderful to remember, and to now give that back to those directors, those teachers, they're all coming to see the show, and when I see them, it's just like, man, thank you's not big enough. So how about friend like me? Well, the first time I was doing a show in Brooklyn, and I saw Aladdin perform on the Tonys, and that's the moment I was like, I have to be in the show. I have to be in the show. I did a couple regional jobs. I was out in Utah, and I saw the audition, and I talked to my agent, and I was like, is there any way they'll accept a video? Because if not, I will start looking at plane tickets. And they accepted a video, and then they asked me to come in and audition. I flew in, auditioned, and I went back to finish my contract in Utah, and then my agent sent me a message that they wanted me to come to a Genie camp. And that was a group of gentlemen that looked like myself, singing, dancing, acting for a week, going through the material, getting familiar with it and comfortable with it. And then, like 2 weeks after that, my agent called and said they'd like to offer you the role of the standby for the Genie and the Sultan. So that was for the tour. I began the tour when they started, learning the role, falling in love with it, and just not having to do it every night. So then I got to be familiar, got to get comfortable with it, and really, really learn it. And then I went on a couple times, and then I found out that the role was becoming open, and this was last summer. And in September, my agent called and said, are you sitting down? And I was like, yeah. I was like, this can only go one of two ways. And she was like, it's going to go the way you want it to. And like, I jumped out of bed, and like, I just started turning in circles. I was like, well, what do I do? What? And she was like, calm down, relax, just think about it. Enjoy your hard work, because you're about to start working even harder. And then we started rehearsals the month before I took over, and I would run it every night in a full rehearsal studio, so it just didn't become that taxing when I actually took over full time. And then September of this year in Charlotte, I made my debut as the full-time Genie. And that's a tribute to Casey Nicholaw's brilliant direction, to not try to copy any film or any other star actor. He really finds out what you do well. And it's more about like, what can you do? What can you pull out? What can you bring that nobody else can? And the big band, the jazz, the foundation of the Genie is where they went back to, and just where does Korie make funny? Like, how does Korie sing this part? And with that, you get to go out there and feel like this is me. I get to share part of me in this role, and nobody else can do what I can do. So when you're saying, "Can your friends do this?" It's really like, no, they can't. And that sense of pride and like power comes from within, because you know this is special just for you. And so you want to run out on stage and just give everything you got every night. Well, lots of cardio, vocal warm-ups, and vocal warm-downs. Because a lot of people just think I have to warm my voice up. But after you're done, you also need to warm it down like you would stretch after the gym. And not pushing too hard. You just shouldn't put all that weight on it, because you have to do all of that. And stamina, really working on stamina. When I first started rehearsing, it was like a checklist. It'd be like, okay, get through the scene. Now get through the first part. Get to the game show. Now get through the tap dance. And then the end, drive it home. So it's really like, give a little here, give a little there. Don't give too much, because you have to hold it out for 18 minutes. And now it's finding fun ways to like put some power in a different way. And I'm finding different ways that I can get Aladdin's interest and like pique his interest, but then like, oh no, but I'm not going to give it away. And then it's more powerful when you get to come down the stairs and just give it all you got. Well, right away, and these are lines that